Good afternoon, everyone. I'm used to saying good morning, everyone, at our online networking every Tuesdays at 10 o'clock. So this is great. 11:30. Great to have everyone. I see this is a very popular topic. We are just really, really excited about this presentation. It's a briefing with Commissioner Knight. I am going to turn it over to Mark Jaffe. But I was just saying how important this information is to get to businesses, get to people that run businesses. But not only do you run your business, you run your household. And this is a New York State briefing on everything that does affect you, from getting up every morning and whether you get on a train, you get in your car, or you work from home. So we're really excited about this briefing. I am going to turn it over to Mark Jaffe, but for those who don't know me, my name is Helena. I am the Executive Director of the Greater New York Chamber, and we represent 30,000 different business and civic leaders. So right now I'm going to turn it over to Mark Jaffe, and Mark is the President and CEO of the Greater New York Chamber. Mark, take it away.
Thank you, Helena. And Helena, you're the backbone of the chamber. Allow us to do so many programs. It kind of reminds me of what Empire State Development is. I'd like to thank Jordan Feiner for reaching out, coming to our offices and setting up these budget road shows. It's not our first budget road show, and it's not our first time with our presenter, Commissioner Knight. She's doing a marvelous job with Empire State Development. Um, I hope I'm still on. My screen just went
Yes,
blank.
you are.
Okay. So Empire State Development's great, but what's even greater is what our Governor, Kathy Hochul, has proposed in the budget. And it's over $230 million. And our members want to know how they can take advantage. And they're also concerned about what the city and what the state can be and how we get there. Um, Budget contains a lot of money, and some of the good things we've seen is the commitment to the crackdown on crime and retail theft. I was privileged to be at that press conference with the governor. The cannabis business is a great example. Finally, we're getting tax dollars, and as you can hear, I'm on the fourth floor here, but our streets are open, and public safety is paramount right now. We have an emergency in the street, but it'll quickly pass and be resolved. And the state is consistent on that. We also love the initiatives that help support housing. We can't work without housing throughout the state, and initiatives that will allow us to attract businesses such as the businesses that we're doing upstate reflect down here in New York City as well. So whatever's happening in Buffalo to the Hamptons is good for the members of the Greater New York Chamber of Commerce. So we have an expert here in economic development, Hope Knight. She made her first bones in economic development, I believe, a great name, one of the first economic empowerment zones right here in Jamaica, Queens. And she did such a great job that she was asked to help the city grow. And of course, when Governor Hochul was looking, she chose Hope Knight, and some of the great programs that have been coming from this annual budget you're in charge of. So I'm looking forward to your commentary on the budget, and I'm sure we're going to have some, questions and answers after that. But I'm proud to introduce our good friend Hope Knight, Commissioner of Empire State Development, who knows about economic empowerment and knows about this budget. And we're looking forward to hearing about how it can help small businesses and startups with the many different programs that we're interested in, improve industrial sites, training programs. We're proud to be in the mechanics and building here where there are classes helping small businesses grow, workforce development, all these things that will help businesses that want to improve and grow, existing businesses that need to improve and grow. There's stuff in the budget for it. So again, without further ado, our Commissioner of Empire State Development, Hope Knight.
Thank you, Mark, for that gracious introduction. I want to thank you, Helena, and the entire chamber for all you do to support New York City and its business community. It's a privilege to be with you again today. As Mark said, this is not my first Budget Roadshow with this organization, and it's great to be with you. I want to acknowledge my partners in government. Jordan Feiner is here, representing the governor, and we also have our very own ESD's Joe Taswell, who is the regional director of New York and New York City, and his team who supports this work. So this morning, I'm going to briefly share Governor Hochul's State of the State and budget agenda, focusing on our plans to support economic development and expand economic opportunity across the state. Governor Hochul's 2025 agenda is centered around making life more affordable for New Yorkers and putting more money directly back into their pockets. Her agenda builds on her relentless efforts to address the cost of living crisis, create good paying jobs, and make the state more affordable for all of our families. So since day one, Governor Hochul has promised to fight for New Yorkers. And since then, the governor has made affordability a cornerstone of her administration, from lowering taxes, delivering direct rebate checks, investing in small businesses, and enacting bold policies to drive down the cost of childcare, housing, and energy. Governor Hochul has fought to lift up New York families. She's delivered more than $5.5 billion in tax relief and rebate checks directly to New Yorkers. She's also boosted tuition assistance, education funding, transportation, and investments to the highest levels in history so that families have the best chance and opportunity for success. She's also secured the most consequential statewide housing plan in 50 years and affirmed that New York City is a city of yes so that families will have affordable places to live. And she's made record investments in New York's small businesses and in the innovation economy, attracting jobs and transforming the state into a global hub for semiconductors, life sciences, and modern manufacturing. So the governor's blueprint for a more prosperous New York includes more than 200 initiatives that will put more money back in people's pockets, keep New Yorkers safe, invest in our economy, and ensure that all families can thrive here. And under the pressure of rapidly rising inflation, Governor Hochul recognizes that too many families are struggling to make ends meet. And to that end, she is committed to driving down costs, putting money back into people's pockets. And this means bold action by slashing middle class taxes by up to 5%, saving hardworking taxpayers $2 billion, sending inflation checks to up to $500 to over 8.6 million households, expanding New York's child tax credit to provide up to $1,000 per child, so 1.6 million families, funding universal free school meals for more than 2.7 million students, fighting for the full restoration of the SALT deduction, making community college free for adults and high demand fields like advanced manufacturing, tech, and healthcare. And of course, continue a slew of successful economic development initiatives that I'll talk about in a moment. So Governor Hochul continues to make safety of New Yorkers a top priority. Today, New York has the third lowest firearm-related death rate in the country, and preliminary 2024 data show that shootings and murders are at their lowest levels since 1995. Outside of New York City, crime has dropped by double digits, approaching 60-year lows, while New York City has seen its first decline in crime in 3 years. This year, Governor Hochul's public safety agenda builds on her administration's progress with a series of innovative proposals and investments, including creating a first in the nation headquarters to track crime trends, share intelligence, and coordinate responses with local and federal agencies, supporting first responders with mental health initiatives, new technologies, and better career pathways, strengthening hate crime protections, and pursuing discovery reform to eliminate incentives for delay and streamline the discovery process, improving pedestrian safety by better regulating e-bikes, providing resources to improve subway safety, putting officers on every train overnight, building barriers and lighting in stations, providing alternative spaces for unhoused New Yorkers to connect to services and spend time. Also updating involuntary commitment, the commitment laws, and strengthening Kendra's law to ensure New Yorkers with severe mental illnesses are connected with the care that they need. To further support New York's youth and families, Governor Hochul proposes expanding the child care tax credit while taking action to reduce costs for families and builds up our children for success. And some of these initiatives include providing $1,200 at birth of a child to qualifying families, increasing K-12 funding and providing universal free school meals for more than 2.7 million students, providing capital grants to renovate and build new child care centers, and rebuilding our social infrastructure by bringing resources for construction of recreation centers, pools, and playgrounds to communities across the state. So now let's turn to Governor Hochul's economic development agenda and Empire State's role in executing this agenda. So when the governor took office, she committed to making New York the most business-friendly and worker-friendly state in the nation. And under her leadership, New York has become a national leader in economic development, driving job creation, community revitalization, and support for key industries in the innovation economy, from semiconductors to AI to life sciences and modern manufacturing. New York is emerging as the heart of innovation. The governor's budget includes a variety of new support for successful programs and projects that have measurably improved economic opportunity for New York. It also includes several new programs to embrace future opportunities and accelerate economic growth. So let's talk about some of these specific initiatives. The Fast New York program has delivered results by helping communities prepare shovel-ready sites. While primarily an aggressive tool to expand economic progress in the suburbs and upstate, where many of these sites are located, Fast New York is a force multiplier. When businesses invest in Buffalo or Syracuse or Binghamton, we not only diversify our economy, but we also ensure that the next generation of New Yorkers have options and opportunities right here in the state, in the cities and towns where they grew up and went to school. With this year's budget, ESD will provide an additional $1 million in grants to help attract large employers to New York State. Power up. So we found that a lack of sufficient power at sites is a primary reason why we miss out on some economic opportunities. And this new initiative will fund the proactive development of electric capacity to create power-ready sites. Governor Hochul is seeding the fund with $300 million over 3 years, which will support dozens of sites. The Excelsior Jobs Tax Credit Program has long been one of the most powerful economic development tools in New York's toolbox. For example, last week we announced that Shark Ninja, a popular, rapidly growing innovator of consumer products, was establishing its creative design hub in the Flatiron section of New York City. Shark Ninja is adding 45 jobs as a part of this expansion, all with the help of the state's Excelsior program. This year, the budget extends this performance-based program another 10 years, And we're doubling down on efforts to target the high growth industries within the semiconductor and advanced manufacturing sectors by adding specific enhancements. REDC. So the Regional Council Initiative has been instrumental in supporting community-driven projects across the state. This year, we are investing another $150 million and prioritizing transformative projects that serve as high-impact economic anchors. The governor is committed to supporting New York State's downtowns and recognizes that the strength of the state lies in its partnerships with local governments. The governor is proposing another $100 million round of the Downtown Revitalization Initiative and another $100 million for the New York Forward program. That program supports the renaissance of dozens of community hubs across the state. In New York City, we've been able to infuse major investment in neighborhoods like Chinatown, East Harlem, Long Island City, and Jamaica, where I used to work. DRI enhances public spaces, cultural attractions, and adds green space. And these improvements ultimately strengthen the commercial vibrancy and economic vitality of these downtown and borough hubs. And as a part of the governor's affordability agenda, she's committed to working with local communities to increase housing. This year's budget includes $100 million into infrastructure upgrades to support new housing in pro-communities. This fund represents another important step in tackling the affordability crisis. So we're also advancing our nation-leading MWBE program. Last year, we had a 32% utilization rate, which represents nearly $3 billion in public contracts awarded to certified MWBEs. And that's nearly $12 billion since Governor Hochul took office. This year, we are extending the program and increasing the state's discretionary purchasing threshold to $1.5 million to better help network and have our MWB access state contracts. So film and television, it's a very important industry. It's a cornerstone of the New York economy, but the industry is continuing to change and competition is tightening. And it's important that New York State realizes that. This year, the governor is proposing a suite of elements to make New York more competitive for the film and television productions. And there are many small businesses that benefit from this production that happens all over the city. And we want to make sure that those small businesses are able to access these opportunities by keeping productions here in New York. And when it comes to small businesses, there's no greater champion than the governor. The state's small business credit initiative program administered by ESD is increasing access to capital. This year, we're expanding one of our most effective tools of business assistance with the low interest capital program, or LINK. Previously called Link Deposit, this program lowers the loan interest rates for eligible small businesses and mid-sized manufacturers. We're injecting more funding into this program to support hundreds of additional small businesses across the state. With interest rates still being at the levels where they are, providing low interest capital to businesses is so important. We're also launching Catalyst New York. It's a new program to encourage the growth of promising, innovative startups in New York. It will provide a personal income tax benefit to early stage innovation businesses that have completed a New York State incubator program. This unique initiative will support promising startups during a critical phase and ensure that they grow here in New York. So last year, Governor Hochul established the $400 million Empire AI Consortium, which has crowned New York as a global leader in pursuit of AI for good. The facility, which is located on the University of Buffalo campus, is already working to solve societal problems. Building on this investment, we want to make sure that all New Yorkers can benefit from this rapidly growing technology by launching Harmony AI. This is designed to expand access with a new training program for students, technical assistance for small businesses, and a new $20 million venture fund for New York-based AI founders from underrepresented backgrounds and in upstate communities. So, in closing, I just want to highlight that great things are happening all across New York State. It's really a testament what we can do when we work together. And with the governor's agenda that she has for this year, I'm very excited for what the future holds. I look forward to working with all of you to support the New York City economy and build a better future for generations to come. Thank you for having me. It's still this morning, and I look forward to answering any questions that you have.
Sure, thank you so much. Mark, you're muted, so you'll need to unmute.
That was a great job, Commissioner, and thank you, Helena. I see there's a lot of questions in the chats, but some of them have already been answered by this marvelous, concise presentation. MWBEs, we have a couple of our members. We're known as a truly diverse chamber because we include so many startups and entrepreneurs, and we fight for small businesses. So, as you know, there's a streamlined of lowering the thresholds for discretionary projects. So any of our members, any of you who are listening, please contact our chamber, info@chamber.nyc, and we can help you walk through the application process and start doing more business. And please come to our networking events. Helena, do you see any other questions that you want to pass on to
Yeah.
the commissioner?
Yes, let me go through it. Someone
Well-
asked, the PA Environmental Corporation and New York State certified firms search ask concentrating. Hold on for 1 second. How much of the $230 million will be used for hazmat and renewable energy?
So I guess
Related to
that is a green energy type question. And I noticed in the budget, there is continuing funding for our green energy. So again, I think the real question there is how do I apply for that?
Well, I think it's related to projects. So you have to see, so when projects are coming up and, bidding on that work as they come up, in various communities around the state.
We do that. We have the webinars on how to get government contracts with that.
Yes.
Someone asked about the three-legged chair needed to create a sole source discretionary. Do you know anything about the three-legged chair? I haven't heard about that.
I don't know about the three-legged chair. What I'll say is that raising the limit to $1.5 million on a discretionary basis for MWBEs is very significant. So it provides for lots of opportunities on contracts.
That is critical to why Helena was just is working very closely with not only New York State programs, but federal programs. I believe we were just selected as one of the top drop-in centers, one of the only 10 drop-in centers in the United States by the Small Business Administration, because many of the questions that we get from our membership and our database of business and civic groups that we help are how can we participate? So we're going to be doing more of this, and you just need to contact info@chamber.nyc in our law center. We actually, and I see there's a lot of money coming up for AI, and we're competing with the world.
Mhm.
We see that New York City is doing great, but upstate, the investments upstate. A lot of our members that wanted to get involved with the AI, we've put them in touch with our good friends like Bob Duffy from the
Mhm.
Rochester
Mhm.
area. And Commissioner, you're doing such a great job, as I stated, and we hear from our members and our close alliances from Buffalo all the way out to the Hamptons, where Helena, we have to do a summer networking event with our friends from the Long Island Association. And
Yep.
we've done that in the past, and COVID gave us a runaround. But the AI question, I think if you go to our website under services right on the top, you'll see our law center. And if you need anything with help with applications, just fill out that brief information. And the next thing we can do is we can download some paperwork using AI. Helena will send you that link. So Helena, I've given you a little bit of cover and time to find some more questions for the commissioner.
It's mostly on MWBE, which you really covered a lot of the questions. So I don't want to keep on asking you the same question. Someone asked, it's kind of you kind of talked about it. Can you share anything that's occurring in healthcare for Medicaid?
Yeah, so it's a little out of my
Yeah,
space. We can get back to you with someone that has more expertise in the area with, some specific questions.
sure. Quick question. Is there any place on the website for your incubators? That's a good question.
Yeah, we have on our ESD website, we have a number of certified ESD incubators. We have some hotspots that provide support. So, depending on the focus area and location, you can look and, survey the incubators that ESD supports.
Perfect. I
And
think, go ahead, Mark.
we'd love to throw our hat in the ring in our convenient Midtown location. And everybody listening, if you haven't been here, I think on Friday the 28th, we're having a big breakfast, the biggest space in this building, which is conveniently located right near Grand Central in Times Square. And we're going to honor some great people. But again, the morning is all about networking in a not trademarked, a landmarked building.
Mhm.
And again, we encourage you all to come to the website chamber.nyc. And any question, again, you can directly send it to info@chamber.nyc. And we have a 24-hour rule here. We do a little research on you, and then we answer your questions, and we get you moving in the right direction. But you can also register for free webinars, more events. And you can always, again, now fill out through our business services on the top line. We now have are collecting information, and we can refer you if our staff cannot answer your business or legal questions. We're now using artificial intelligence. We're just going to capture some brief information about what you need, and we'll guide you. That's what we're here to do. And we hope to work more closely with the governor's office. Jordan, Jordan, I know you've stepped up your game. I know you worked city projects before, but now, Jordan, if we have any questions for the governor or any of the departments from Empire State Development, we have direct access to Jordan. And Commissioner Knight has not only been a great friend of the state, but she's a great friend of New York, and she's accessible. Her offices are right here, but just use our services. So Helena, I know that you run the chamber day
Question.
to day, so I'm gonna turn it back to you.
Okay, hold on for one more question. They wanted to inquire about HVAC related projects, including green energy. Is that HVAC funding included in the environmental aspect of it?
Here's what I'll say. There are so many projects that are focused on HVAC, and if they're new projects, we're definitely looking for green elements. And so I would suggest to that person that they, look for contracts that are focused on HVAC contractors. Um, the other thing that I would recommend to the small business community, you hit upon it, Mark, very aggressively, but you really need to network with the agencies that are soliciting the RFPs for work because they need to have a face with a name and know a little bit about you. And so to the extent that you can get to these events, MWBE holds a number of events, around the state that host New York State agencies that will be soliciting for contracts. So please take advantage of that.
And I'm going to piggyback on top of that. We did have a webinar on how to market yourself to the government. Like Commissioner Knight is saying, put yourself in front of them. It is on Chamber TV. A lot of these presentations and webinars have been recorded and are on Chamber TV that you can go back when you have time and go through the PowerPoint presentations with that. So yes, it's very, very important. The reason why I'm pulling out these questions is because a lot of the businesses that are on here are small businesses looking for that contract. And we also, what is really, really important, SAMS.gov has a lot of that information, as well as they want you to partner up. So if you are have an opportunity for a government contract, they want you to partner up with people in your same lane. That's why it's really, really important that you go to the networking, and a person that is in your same lane is not your competitor. It might be your new best friend because they want you to partner up to get that larger contract.
And again, we have many opportunities, and I see now the in-person networking has come back to pre-COVID levels. We're selling out, and some of these venues are fairly big. The one tomorrow is fantastic. I think we're adding one the following Thursday at the UN again, Helena. So if you want to network from 6 to 9 p.m., that should be online by Friday. And you can register for that. And it'll be again right near the United Nations on 46th Street. And then the following week, again, our breakfast is in a beautiful facility, the General Society of Mechanics and Tradesmen, the library downstairs, the building that we're in on the 4th floor. We're going to have it's going to be sold out. So it's a breakfast, so you can come network from 8:30 till 10:30 and get back to work before you have to say good afternoon. And it is the afternoon here in New York City. And this will be up on online on our website, chamber.nyc. But the networking and the question and answer method never stops here at the Greater New York Chamber. We're here every day of the week, and you can easily reach out to our staff, info@chamber.nyc, or just call 212-CHAMBER, and we will get back to you. That's what we're known for, service from the bottom up. And the governor likes us, our United States senators. We know where the money is. I think, Helena, during the COVID crisis, you came up with the line that reinvigorated where those loans were going. Show us the money, meaning small businesses. And people like the Los Angeles Lakers and the larger businesses realized it was the small businesses that needed those PPP loans. And then the EIDL loans came, and then the industry targeted loans. So all these great questions about MWBE, what it really comes down to in my experience is you need help studying where those contracts are, applying for them, and getting your face in front of people. So if you're a member of our chamber, we can help expedite that because we know all the faces that and the application process.
Yes, so thank you so much, Commissioner Knight. Thank you so much, Jordan. Thank you so much, Joyce, working with Joyce Lee. And if anyone has any questions, again, info@chamber.nyc. This is being recorded. It will be on Chamber TV at our website. We appreciate everyone's time. And like I said, this is so important to get this information into the hands of businesses, and businesses represent families, and families represent the growth of New York. So again, thank you so much for everyone's time and everyone joining us.
And I'll also very quickly hop in. If there are any questions that come up afterwards for, the governor's office or anything like that, get those over to Mark or Helena. They can get them over to me and I can try and get some answers as well. want to be an open resource. Thank you very much to the Greater New York Chamber. You all are fantastic, are doing great work. And especially thank you to Commissioner Knight for coming out and doing this wonderful presentation. Please, if you have questions, do not hesitate. Get them to Mark, get them to me. We'll try and get you some answers because we definitely want to make sure that New York is a great place to start, grow, and expand your business.
The
Love it.
chat may close, but info@chamber.nyc or directly Helena, Helana. She'll answer the questions and we'll start the process. And whether it's the state, whether it's the city, whether it's networking opportunities, federal opportunities, it all starts at info@chamber.nyc and we'll help you get results.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And again, take a look at Chamber TV. This presentation will be on our website. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.